Hello, and welcome to the Business End podcast with me, your host, Rowan Lee. I am sat here with three of the other hosts as well, shall we say. I'm here with Ben in the studio, and Matt is in the control room. It's a pleasure to be back in the studio again with both of you. I'm going to say you're in the studio, Matt, because you sort of are.
Yeah, I'm normally on the other side of the wall, and it's normally Drake on this side, but yeah, it's been 4 months we haven't been in here.
It's been it's been ridiculous.
But it's a home debut for Ben as well.
It is. He hasn't been in here, has he?
He's been on a few.
Never been here, and it feels weird to be outside my bedroom.
He's been on some of the online ones, but not with us in here.
Yeah, we've seen him on camera a few times on the old Zoom. But it's good. Well, it's good to be here, lads. Anyway, and there is a lot to talk about that we're going to try and get through. Anyway, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we had a conversation about, half an hour ago. That if it was recorded, it probably would have made a good podcast, but...
Yeah, we did. So let's just go straight into it then. So, obviously the big one at the moment is Champions League last night. Big win for Liverpool. They have beaten Leipzig 4-0 on aggregate, 2-0 first leg, 2-0 away leg. What do we think then? What do we actually make of that game? Because me as a Liverpool fan, I'm absolutely buzzing. But obviously you guys are both neutral, so.
Well, the first half was interesting. I mean, Liverpool could have been 3-4 up. Didn't take any of their chances. Second half, they did take two very quick succession, really. But Leipzig obviously had their chances. Could have went 2-0 up if it wasn't for Alisson, and I think Forsberg had a chance as well. But it's nice that Liverpool got technically a home win, first and 7. But I think everyone, even though Liverpool have been on poor form, I think everyone expected Liverpool to go through that, as much as Leipzig have beaten Tottenham and Man United in recent years in the Champions League. I think it was regulation for Liverpool, really.
I mean, to be honest, I didn't watch the game. I watched the Barca game instead. But from the outside, it looks like this is really what Liverpool need. This could turn around their season a bit, start a good run of form. They definitely had to end that just beaten run at home where they just couldn't seem to do anything. I think Leipzig are a very good team. They're Germany's third team at the moment. So you can't really understate what they've done. It is a good achievement, especially with how German clubs, mainly Bayern, tend to do in Europe. So I think, it's definitely a very good thing for them. And it might, well, I hope, looking from the outside, so we actually get a bit more exciting Premier League football, that they start to kick on and do better. But at the same time, they might just have good form in Europe and be absolutely rubbish in the Prem.
Yeah, I think they should. I think they should just focus on the Champions League now. I mean, like I said earlier, Liverpool at the moment, they've sort of shot themselves in the foot now, because the last few games they should have won, they didn't win, and now for the top 4 places especially, they're relying on other teams now. You know, you can win. Liverpool win every game now for the rest of the season if they do. I can't see them doing it, but they could do. And if they do, they're still relying on other teams to drop points because they are behind at the moment, and it's a massive risk, really. And that's why I think they should just go all out in the Champions League.
Do you think Liverpool could still reach the top 4? Because if you're putting everything into the basket of the Champions League, does that mean you're doing what Klopp did in his first season, where he sacrificed even a Europa League place in the league to try and win in Europe? Is that what Liverpool fans want?
I just think it's so difficult, isn't it? Because you've just progressed through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League, and as a fan, you're absolutely buzzing. But then again, you think to yourself, well, what are the chances of getting to the final, and what are the chances of actually winning it? Because personally, I can just see Bayern winning it. I can't really see any other team winning it at the moment. Yeah,
I mean, the quarterfinals isn't that far into the tournament, really, is it? I know it's 3 stages to the winner, but if you get knocked out in the quarterfinals, no one's going to remember you.
No, exactly. But I think for Liverpool, really, personally, I think they should just really go all out in the. I mean, obviously, I want them to win every game, but it's going to be difficult because they've got Wolves on Monday night, and I honestly cannot see them beating Wolves, to be honest with you. Is that
at Molineux or at Anfield?
It's at Molineux. I think so. I'll have to double check, but we've definitely got Wolves.
Ben, what's your thoughts on?
I mean, it's a crazy season, to be fair, and I don't think European football is helping a lot of clubs because their squad is stretched, tiring the players out. I think the Premier League title is pretty much decided. And yeah, there are top 4 places up for grabs, but it's looking very unlikely that Liverpool will earn a place through the Premier League either way. So I think they should probably focus on the Champions League, and I think Man United should probably focus on the Europa League. Because, I mean, they're second, they're probably going to stay second, to be honest. They're not going to win the league. And if Liverpool qualify for the Champions League by winning it, and then United qualify for the Champions League, we'd have 6th place in the Premier League playing in the Champions League, which would be absolutely mental.
Yeah, what would happen actually for that? Do we know?
We get both the places that we've earned as well as our normal 4.
Really? So there'll be 6 English teams then in the Champions League next season.
It can be,
if that happens. Of course.
I think so.
And what if? That'd be crazy actually.
And then
thinking
if
about
City win the FA Cup,
Yeah.
the Europa League goes down to will be 7th and 8th now because there's the one Europa League spot. And then we can't forget the EFL Cup giving the conference spot. So there's the potential of half the Premier League playing in Europe.
The third tournament, I forgot about
I think that starts next season, and I think they've given the place to the EFL Cup winner, which is it's going to be City.
Yeah.
9 teams in Europe next season. I think they should have given the conference spot to the winner of the Checkatrade Trophy. So you could have the League One side playing in Europe, because it's a similar standard to like Gibraltar's teams.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You have Lincoln against Lincoln Red Imps.
Probably
How
a
good would
better
that
standard,
be?
to be fair.
I think something needs to be reformed especially in England. You can't have 4 Champions League teams and then 4 Europa League teams with a possibility of 9 teams being in Europe. I mean, if you look at Italy, I think 2 teams get automatically and 1 has to qualify for the Champions League.
Yeah, I think the way I want the Champions League to be is if you win your league, you're in it automatically.
Yeah.
Second and third maybe has to qualify. That means less games and less money. So what we have to look at is it's all down to money, which is why there's another competition.
But aren't they expanding the Champions League even
They're
further?
adding 4 teams, and I think the way the big clubs want it to be done is two places go to teams that normally have to qualify, and 2 would be wild cards or something. So if a big team has a poor season, they'll just get in anyway. So let's say PSG somehow fall apart and don't qualify for the Champions League, just take a wild card.
That
sounds crazy, doesn't it?
Absolutely crazy, because
insane.
Let's just say Liverpool this season, they finished 8th or something. They can just be like, we're going to be a wild card.
Yeah, I mean, you could do what Eurovision do and have Australia playing the Champions League. I think that would be much better than giving it to one of these big clubs.
What is it? East Coast Mariners playing in the Champions League.
I mean, before we think, can we not down talk Eurovision, please? Because I think Guy Sebastian did a great job in 2015 in their first year.
I do. I quite enjoy Eurovision. I loved the film on Netflix.
I bloody love Eurovision.
Oh my days. Well,
there's
a conversation ender there.
So from one country that does well in Eurovision, in Australia, to England, who don't.
We don't talk about that.
We were going to talk about, look, Trent Alexander-Arnold at Liverpool hasn't been having the greatest time, has he, at the moment? So we're going to talk about England's current status in the squad that might be going to the Euros this year. Instead of getting him it's not getting him on the plane this year, it's getting him on the train. It's going to be tight, especially our defence. There's a lot. I won't say players that we want in the squad. It's a lot of players that will they make the squad.
It's so many, isn't there? There is just like
there's so many average players.
Too many average. We can't go into a major competition with 5 right backs and 3 holding midfielders on the pitch at the same time. No, that just cannot happen. I've put up with enough with that in the qualifiers. We need to make our minds up. What is our best decision?
So who goes in then, would you say?
I think Trent's problem is up until he made his breakthrough at Liverpool, he was a cam or something. He played in behind the striker. So he's never been that good at defending. And he's not getting the assists anymore. And I know everyone hates my opinion. You know my opinion. Right back should be Kieran Trippier. He has been massive for Atleti. You just look at Atleti.
I agree with you. I think Kieran Trippier is a brilliant player, yeah. But I just can't see Gareth Southgate picking him. That's all. I mean, like, if he did pick him, I would be so happy with that.
Yeah.
But if he didn't pick him, I'd be thinking, well, I'm not surprised.
Southgate clearly values him because he squeezes him at left back, and he's played the last 3 except for 1, which was against Wales or something, where we used a younger squad. But he's not a left back. He's playing him possibly the best defence in world football at the moment, which if you look at the league table, Trippier out for 10 weeks. Atleti's lead has fallen to 1 point, and they haven't kept a clean sheet in like 7 games. Trippier comes back, and suddenly their form's good again. It goes to show he is such a good player, and he gives the attacking numbers that Alexander-Arnold does. But he gives more because he can actually defend. That's the main thing. For so long, we haven't really had defenders who can defend, which is an absolutely mental thing to think.
I think we're going to do a show on this closer to the time for our predictions for the whole 23.
Yeah.
But at the moment, the defence is what I'm most interested in, because you see Villa fans on Twitter saying Ezri Konsa and Tyrone Mings should be part of the back three for England. John Stones hasn't been in an England squad for quite a while. Joe Gomez is injured, but he could come back.
Yeah.
Harry Maguire is, I don't want to say he's proven himself, but Man United are doing quite well in the league this season.
Is that him though?
He's part of it. He's captain of a team that's second in the league.
Yeah.
But when Liverpool won the league, everyone was saying that Jordan Henderson is as slightly above average as he is. And I like Jordan Henderson, but he's not an X factor player.
Oh no.
People were saying, he's captain. He's got to be given some recollection for his job in the club.
Yeah. Well, he's a good leader, isn't he?
He's a very good leader.
Yeah.
Maybe Harry Maguire isn't as good as that, but So at the moment in defenders, would you be taking Gomez? Would you be taking Mings, Konsa?
I'd definitely take Gomez, I think.
I wouldn't risk it. I think when you've had this long
Gomez.
out, if he's fit, he's probably our best defender, possibly.
Yeah, like at the moment, I mean, like you said, we don't know the status of Gomez. We don't really know. Liverpool have been very quiet about what they're both like. I mean, we know they're on the mend, but we don't know how far they are away from full recovery. So, I mean, if we're talking full recovery and they're all fit at the start, come the Euros, whatever, every single defender is fit. I think we definitely have to say Gomez and Stones maybe at the back.
See, I reckon the back three with wing backs is the way to go for England because it served us so well at the 2018 World Cup. In my opinion, Gomez is very good as he's shown next to a big man. Now, we don't have Van Dijk, we have Maguire. So I'd have to say Gomez with Maguire, and I'd say John Stones on the other side.
Yeah, that's a good shout, yeah.
With the squad, I think that's a good shout. Who would be your backups? Because I've seen a lot of people say, well, Eric Dyer and Declan Rice can play at the back, Kyle Walker can play centre-back. We've got versatile players which you do need for a tournament. But would you rather have someone, let's say, of Adam Webster, Connor Cody type player in the squad over an Eric Dyer who genuinely I don't see brings anything to either Tottenham or Liverpool besides being able to be on the pitch?
Yeah, I wouldn't take a player just because they can also play in that position. We want players who can cover at centre-back. I don't want to take a midfielder who happens to be able to play there. I would take Kyle Walker, mainly because we'd have him against probably Trippier and Trent at right-back, but we can't take 3 right-backs. That's a key decision to make. So maybe the thought behind Southgate will be we'll take Trent, we'll take... who's the Chelsea guy? I've forgotten his name.
Chilwell.
Yeah, we'll play left-back. And then...
Dan James?
Dan James.
Not Dan James.
Reece
James.
Reece James, that's the one. So they've got 4 right-backs to choose from. I'd take Kyle Walker. I know I'm probably contradicting myself. I'll take Walker because he plays right-back and centre-back, but because he played centre-back at the 2018 World Cup.
Yeah.
But as I said, Reece James, he can play centre-half as well. It's a decent... It's a big pool of players
It's a bit of a head-scratcher, isn't it, for... Gareth Southgate. I tell you what, I wouldn't want to be Gareth Southgate right now because you're going to have to leave one of those players out, or a few of those players out. And I tell you now, I mean, a lot of people are going to be either like, oh yes, I can understand that, or a lot of people are going to go, why the hell have you left them out? And I don't think you can please anyone. I think the England manager job is a bit of a poison chalice, to be honest with you. I think anyone who takes it on, you're going to get it in the neck.
I think any national manager is a poison chalice, really, unless you're from a country outside the top 150.
Unless you're San Marino.
Unless you're San Marino, where you just pick the 11 closest people that you are at the time.
I mean, it's like Gary Johnson taking over Lithuania.
Yes.
What's he doing? It doesn't matter at all because a win for them is great. A draw for them is great. Losing by less than 3 is amazing. That's all they really... If I had any connection to San Marino, I'd be playing international football right now.
Yeah.
I was going to be controversial. I don't know if it's a rule, but I'd take 1 less goalkeeper.
1 less? No, we need to take 3.
Do we have to take 3?
I think it's law that...
Who do we take then?
Oh, for goalkeepers,
Pickford,
Henderson and Pope.
Who's number one?
Ooh. I don't think Henderson can be number one, having not played a full season.
It's, this season is. If it was this time last year, we'd obviously be saying Pope. Pope's the best keeper we've ever seen in our lifetimes. Yeah. He's better than Gordon Banks. He's better than Levi Yashin. if Levi Yashin had a handlebar mustache and was in a relationship with Iker Casillas and had a child, that child would not be as good as Nick Pope. But this season, Pope's not been. He's not been at his level as well last season. Pickford's been Jordan Pickford.
Pickford he's had a good season.
He's still a liability.
Yeah, he makes too many high-profile mistakes, but he's still a good goalkeeper.
Oh yeah, he's a good shot stopper still.
Dean Henderson hasn't. Well, he's barely played, but
he doesn't make mistakes because he's never on the pitch.
When he plays, he does look more assured than.
If he plays every game for the rest of the season, and United win the Europa League, he's in with a shout for starting.
Yeah, I feel Jordan Pickford, like we said, good keeper. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, he's a top-class keeper, Jordan Pickford. To be fair, you know, that's why he plays in the Prem. But I think he's more of he can talk the talk, but he can't walk the walk. He cannot walk the walk. I think. I mean, you know, he can definitely go on, shout at his defenders all he likes. And to be honest with you, I think his defence have been brilliant this season. The Everton's defence have been fantastic this season, and I think Jordan Pickford is. I don't know. He lets himself down a bit really by talking too much. I think he just needs to focus more on the game, and crack on. And I think if he does that, he can become a better goalkeeper than he already is.
And if his arms double in length, he'll be perfect.
It was like Joe Hart a few years ago, wasn't it? Where especially in the Iceland game and in the Euros, he was hyping. I mean, you still see it with Tottenham as well against Marine and the FA Cup. He still hypes them up way too much. I mean, you want a vocal goalkeeper, but you don't want one that's shouting obscenities in the tunnel for no reason.
Yeah. When it got to the point where Joe Hart's biggest quality was that he had no dandruff, and that's not really what you want from a Premier League goalkeeper.
Yeah. When who was it? Was it Shaw? Shaw got rid of him. Yeah. In the end.
I mean, especially Joe Hart. What has happened to his career? He's 31 and he's been third choice goalkeeper at Burnley and now Tottenham Hotspur.
I think at his peak at the time, Joe Hart was in with a shout being the best goalkeeper in the world.
At the peak, absolutely. Besides Manuel Neuer, he's the best keeper in the Premier League.
Yeah. But he always had this weakness on his left-hand side, which was shown with both of Iceland's goal and that Bale goal from about 40 yards when he's taken a free kick. And I think Guardiola just didn't trust him. And that lack of trust from the best manager in the world could kill your confidence.
And they brought in Bravo and that failed.
You imagine being displaced by a man who made 2 saves. Kyle Walker made more saves in that one Champions League game where he played for 20 minutes. What would that do to you?
I think as England media consumption, they didn't really talk about his negatives. But then I heard when he went to Italy, the Italian press was always saying that he can't dive to his left-hand side. And now, literally every match we see people shooting
shoot at the left. Yeah.
Who was the Europa League game? Their final Europa League game. I think they drew to some. I can't remember who it was, but I think they drew. They had to at least get a point, which they did. And I think a goal that really shouldn't have went into his left.
Yeah. I can't remember who it was either, but I do remember the goal.
Was it Eastern European team or something? I think
I'll try and get it up.
Yeah, but no, you are right. I mean, he's. At the end of the day, he's an England legend for goalkeepers, And like you said, I think he sort of
legend.
I mean, his predecessor was Rob Green.
Let's be fair. I mean, he's much better than Rob Green. I mean, arguably better than David James.
I mean, it's not hard to be better than Rob Green and David James. Let's be honest. I mean, David James and Rob Green both had great Premier League careers.
Yeah,
respectively.
I mean, I think the England number 1 shirt is just cursed because you see all these amazing goalkeepers go in and then they just die a little bit inside.
I mean, when you say amazing goalkeepers,
good goalkeepers,
as I said, slight average to slightly above average. I mean,
have we had a world-class keeper since Gordon Banks is the real question.
I mean, if that is true, then that is tragic for a team like
David Seaman, perhaps.
David Seaman, you could say,
but he forgot how to jump when it mattered.
It just seems as though it all goes wrong when it needs to go right for England. That's the thing. That's why England have just failed so much.
Just tend to bottle it.
Yeah, literally just you're right.
We can't take the pressure.
No.
It was the Austrian team LASK that
I thought it was Lask. Yeah.
They played United, didn't they, as well?
Yeah, they got smashed by United last season.
Yeah, I thought so.
But no, with England goalkeepers, it's not really that. Yes, we haven't had excellent ones in the past. We've had ones of decent quality.
Average.
Average quality.
Up until Joe Hart, to be fair, because Joe Hart was a good keeper. We can't deny Joe Hart was a good keeper, because he was.
He was a world-class goalkeeper.
Yeah.
We've had a pool of about 10 goalkeepers in the past 20 years, of which you could say, well, yeah, they're probably one of the best keepers in the Premier League. But when you think about the wider context of actual football in more than just England.
Yeah.
Just thinking back on them, I'll throw some names out. We've had Fraser Forster in goal.
Fraser Forster.
Jack Butland. We've had Tom Heaton. And we've had, that was since Joe Hart, and now we've got Pickford. Pickford seems to have cemented it, but I don't think Pickford cemented it because he's that good. It's because we don't really have any other options.
Yeah,
all those goalkeepers you've named, you can name Ben Foster as well.
Yeah, that's the one.
They're all goalkeepers that have had at least one very, very good season in the Premier League.
See, I still rate Ben Foster.
But then, if you take Jordan Pickford at the moment, our first choice goalkeeper, where would he rank in the list of German goalkeepers? You wouldn't be in top 5.
Absolutely not.
Where would he rank in French goalkeeper? He'd probably be 4th, isn't it, French?
Yeah, probably behind Steve Mandanda.
Yeah. I mean, Steve Mandanda's 36 years old.
I still can't believe a man called Steve has won the World Cup.
It's pretty crazy, isn't it? Miracle Steve happened.
There's hope for Steves everywhere. Most of them are bricklayers.
Up the Steves.
2 Steves won with
Shout out to all the Steves out there.
2 Steves won with France. Steve and Zonzi.
Oh yeah, 2 Steves.
Stephen and Zonzi.
Oh wow.
A Stoke and Blackburn legend.
I can't believe 2 Steves. Oh my. Where has this podcast gone?
I don't know.
We need to do a Steve watch in the next episode.
I saw something the other day that there's only 4 professional sports people called Bob nowadays. I know this is all off the rails, but there's only 4 professional sportsmen called Bob.
Is one of them called Bobby Firmino?
No.
Is one of them Bobby Reed, or is it? Forget the by. It has to be Bob.
That is true.
I think it is just Bob.
Just Bob.
Bob. B-O-B.
Yeah, B-O-B.
Like the rapper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Bobby Reed. When he left City and added De Cordova on the end of his name. I mean, we were as Bristol City fans, we knew that it was there. But
Bobby De Cordova
he
Reed.
He always had Reed on his shirt every loan club.
Yeah, I thought it was his brother or something at first. Then I had to research it and realise he changed it. I think.
We know why.
I think it's his mum's name, is it?
He's part English, part Jamaican. He plays with Jamaica now.
I think it's to appreciate his mother and stuff. Yeah.
But his second he leaves Bristol City, he changes his name to try and remember that part of his career.
Just forget that bit of that.
You seen though, Jamaica are calling up like 10 English players, aren't they?
Oh, they tried to get who's it, Damari Gray?
And Antonio as well.
And
go with
he's never
Morgan
for England anyway, is he really?
Ivan Toney.
Cheltenham's finest, Mikel Antonio. Yeah, he's not going to make it to the Euros.
No.
I think they tried to get the Norwich left back, Max Aarons, is it?
Max Aarons, wait a bit and he'll play. This was Zaha's mistake. Zaha just didn't. He wasn't patient enough.
Yeah.
And he's gone and chose Cote d'Ivoire.
Especially with Zaha, I mean, who was his?
I think his ego's pretty big as well.
Who was his competition at the time?
It was a 19-year-old Sterling.
4 or 5 years, more than 4 or 5 years ago. You say.
Other than that,
yeah, you got Sterling. I think Stuart Downing was still getting in England teams. Actually, it's a point that he, if he carried on representing England, definitely would be in the squad right now.
Yeah,
and we wouldn't have the chat of, well, especially 2016-17, is Adam Lallana like our best player?
Oh God!
As much as I love Adam Lallana.
But so, if we're looking at England then, because I sort of feel, I look at the England team like going forward, and I just feel, oh look, this is like ideal for someone like Jamie Vardy to be in the team. Yeah, I know he's retired, but I would just be like, if I was Gareth Southgate now, I'd be on the phone to Jamie Vardy and saying, please come back, because Kane, for all his brilliance, and he is fantastic, he has got no pace whatsoever. And
we need someone fast.
He's brilliant at holding the ball up and playing it on. We see it at Spurs. He holds the ball up, plays it to Son, little dinks in and stuff. Great goal, great finish, great link-up play. And then you look at him for England, and all he seems to do is, which is brilliant, holds the ball up, finds passes, and then scores headers. Great. But he's not brilliant on the counter, pace-wise.
Son were English, perfect. We'll just have that.
Yeah.
That's where Ivan Toney comes in, playing in the England team. Perfect for it. I mean, he's got the same attributes as Jamie Vardy. He's strong, he's quick, he never stops running, lethal on the shot.
Now, I think the FA Cup has shown if we want someone on the end of those balls into the box, we need to bring Alfie May into the England side.
Oh yeah, get Alfie May in there.
May for England, go for it.
Oh, yeah,
Scores one goal with Cheltenham Town against Manchester City.
Scored more than one this season, like 11 now. Ooh, that is more than, I don't know, more than Pickford scored.
But we'll move on.
Yeah, let's move on anyway.
I'm going to keep
What should we talk about now?
I'm going to keep it a bit with England. A bit of England, and we're going to go with the stadium, Wembley.
Oh, yes.
We were having a conversation about this earlier, but I want to carry on. What stadiums are the best that you visited, and where would you want to visit as well?
It's our dream list of Stadia.
Yeah, your dream...
Globally or Europe?
I mean, I
anywhere
wouldn't
in the
want to
world.
go that many
Anywhere in the
places.
It doesn't have to be football either. It can be any stadium.
Any stadium.
Any ground.
Would you like to start us off?
Any sporting venue, that's what
I haven't been to already, yeah.
What's your favourite you've been to, and what's one that you want to go to?
Oh, the best that I've been to by far is no surprise, Anfield. I just think, I mean, coming from a Liverpool fan, obviously I'm going to say Anfield, but I tell you what, I'm going to forget that and put my neutral head on and just say, in general, the best stadium I've ever been to is probably the Nou Camp.
It's very
because
nice.
it is absolutely incredible. It's just
massive.
It's massive. You know, they got like Mesquite and Club on the side, like, and it literally is more than a club. Like, it's an institution. Obviously, it's a shame what's going on right now with them, but you know, certainly stadium-wise, I'd probably have to say the best one I've been to is Nou Camp. Second, the Bernabeu. I think the Bernabeu's fantastic as well.
Yeah.
But those two, you know, and then obviously my beloved, but you know, apart from them, definitely the Nou Camp and the Bernabeu.
I'll just go through my top 5. 2 of them are the same, Barca and Real Madrid. My favourite one I've ever watched a match in was the Wanda Metropolitano for Atletico Madrid. The atmosphere was insane. It was technically a Madrid derby as they played Getafe. It's not quite Real Madrid. First game of the season, Kieran Trippier's debut. Morata scored somehow, then missed a penalty. We ignore that. But it's such a modern ground. It's absolutely fantastic. We're looking more over here. I quite liked Newcastle's ground. It's very big. It's right in the heart of the city. It's so easy to get to. And then for history, it's got to be Villa Park. That'll probably round out my top 5. It's not like you can look at Goodison Park. It's an old ground, and it's just podiums and barriers in the way everywhere. You don't get that at Villa Park. It's probably the best old ground going at the moment.
No Warden Road?
Yeah, the Johnny Rock Stadium, where is that?
Ooh, I mean, it would make my top 10 purely out of sentimental value, but I really wish we could go back to the National League days where it was called the World of Smart.
For me, I haven't actually been abroad to any stadium before. So
There's still time.
We're all going, mate. We're dragging you across.
We're going
on a European tour with Bristol City, get into Europe as well.
Yeah, we'll do a podcast on that as well. Make sure you try and do a YouTube vlog or something.
Yeah, we'll go abroad.
That's definitely coming up when we're allowed to go back to stadiums. We're ground hopping.
We're going Bishop's Cleeve, Kate Lane. Best ground in the Hellenic League Premier Southern Division.
Kettering Town FC.
Ooh.
Yeah, so mine have all been from just watching either Bristol City, England, or just going to a ground hopping match. The Etihad is obviously an excellent stadium.
Yeah.
I didn't see it full. It was only about half full.
Same with me, but that's how it always is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No surprise there.
Never full.
Cup semi-final, you only bring 20,000 of your own fans.
It's embarrassing.
I think Wembley obviously is the big one for any English fan.
Yeah, huge. Sorry, I forgot to mention that actually. Wembley Stadium's definitely
this
up there
is controversial. I just find it a bit soulless.
I think if you're going to watch an England game, because I think it's family orientated.
It's your team there. That will be one of the best days of your life.
So England is family orientated, isn't it? You bring your kids along for £5.
It's too friendly.
Sit up in the thing, unless you're playing like a genuine massive match like the
Nations League.
The Nations League. Who was our last?
Croatia, wasn't it?
The Croatia when
that
Harry
was a big
Kane
game.
netted in the last minute.
Yeah.
Tell you what though, if any of us get tickets for the Scotland game, that will change my opinion of Wembley entirely. That will be brutal.
I think it'd be the loudest we've probably heard Wembley.
It'll be
in a long time.
Probably the first time Wembley properly sells out for an England game as well.
Then watching Bristol City at Wembley as well was completely different. I know we lost the playoff final in 2008 there, but that was unbelievable. It was full. We even sold out 45,000 in the JPT final in 2015.
There we go.
Besides that, I think Villa Park as well was excellent. Been there twice. It's
a very good ground.
Very, very loud as well. Their fans, they might be singing songs that just annoy you, singing about how they won the European Cup in the 70s and still think they're a massive club.
1982, I think it was.
1982, and still singing about how they're one of the biggest teams in England is interesting.
I think they certainly are one of the biggest teams
historically,
in
yeah.
Historically, anyway, yeah.
But for when 90 minutes we were chanting as we won the cup 40 years ago. I mean, you don't see me at a Bristol City match going, we won the JPT.
I think the Champions League's a bit bigger than the JPT.
In 2003, we beat Bolton Wanderers 3-0 in the JPT final.
That is Bristol City's Champions League.
That is.
Yeah.
But
I mean, Bolton never shut up about playing in the Champo, do they?
I think Anfield was good as well when I went.
Can we touch on the least favourites we've ever been to? Because I've got some absolute horrors.
Least favourite, I think I can beat anyone.
See, this is where I thought the Etihad would come up. I think that's purely for atmosphere.
The Memorial Stadium in Bristol.
I have been.
Is a sports.
What's your words here?
I'll try and
family friendly, Matt.
Family friendly. It's a cricket pavilion, a gazebo, another gazebo, a tent, and just some sticks with some tarpaulin above it.
That's a very nice way to put it.
Fete or something, like a summer fete, isn't it?
I mean, 2 years ago they had to put down a gazebo because they didn't get planning permission for it. Which it was literally just pillars with like some railing above it as a stand.
I mean, have you ever been to Forest Green?
Yes, I've been to.
They're covered with inverted commas standing area. It is about the size of my garden shed.
I mean, it's interesting at that stadium because fans can just walk onto the pitch.
Yeah, there's nothing to stop them. It's terrible.
There's nothing to stop someone just. I mean, if you stand up and take 2 steps forward, you're on the halfway line.
I think so. That's like a lot of pitches, though, really, isn't it? I'm surprised we don't see many pitch invasions in the Premier League, really. Because
as in that, there's literally no barriers at all.
It's not. A lot of the time, there's not even stewards between.
There's no advertising boards.
There's nothing.
There's no boards.
No, it's literally it's worse than Sunday League pitches. There's literally no railing.
It's worse than a field.
Nothing.
Yeah, it's
literally a field.
It's on a hill, and they've got 3 standing stands. Only 2 of them are covered. And then just one where they put some seats in. That's it. And that's why they're trying to make a new ground. But they make a new ground, no one's going to go because it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. I think Kenilworth Road as well.
Cheltenham Town fan coming up.
I love Kenilworth. Kenilworth Road's interesting because it's such a run-down stadium. But
it's got that history.
It's so interesting.
See,
going through someone's back garden to get into the away end.
Can't beat it.
Luton Town as well.
I was going to mention... Mansfield have an okay stand unless you look to the left. They've got 3 new stands, and on the left is a very small shed, and the whole length of the pitch is advertising boards. Now, Mansfield is one of the most horrible places I've ever been. I think it was a Burger King next to the pitch had blue lights in the bathrooms. They can't inject heroin before the match. Like, that is not a place I want to go. I went to Crawley away, and one of their stands was like Bristol's gazebo, but the whole length of the side of the pitch. It was absolutely horrible. I could rant about these grounds for so long.
You've got a bit more history because, I mean, you've been League 1 and 2.
League 1 and 2, yeah.
And
we've got the smaller ground.
I'm sure Robbie Savage will turn it round. I'm sure he'll get rid of that and put a new stand in.
Your sport you're being a fan of Cheltenham, you've been League 2 in the conference. I don't think there's too many bad stadiums in the Championship that I've been to, or League 1.
Well, like I said earlier, Bristol City Ashton Gate, for me, I look at that and I think, Premier League. That's Premier League. I mean, there are worse Premier League stadiums than that. I mean, Turf Moor, for example, is just an absolute, no offence to Burnley, but it's an absolute dive, Turf Moor, compared to like Ashton Gate, which actually looks like a, I know it's a more modern stadium to be fair, but it looks like a Premier League stadium, you see.
Yeah, and it's still got the character of the away end.
Yeah.
But you can't take the character out of ground or I will despise it.
Yeah.
I went to Coventry with Cheltenham, and it's a nice big stadium. It's just a bowl. It's a big blue bowl.
Yeah.
MK Dons is a bowl. I hate MK Dons.
The Milton Keynes Dons, that's the Stadium MK. I think I went 2016. It was basically a 6-pointer in the relegation battle. We took 4,000 up there. Yeah. I think they had about 6,000 home fans. I mean, to be fair, the season before, when we both got promoted automatically, it was almost a full stadium.
Yeah.
But that was when it was top 2, going for the title, and then when it was relegation, no one was there. And Coventry, I love the Ricoh Arena. I don't know if it's just because I've had good memories of being a fan there.
Yeah.
Or I have a soft spot for Coventry, but I do like the Ricoh Arena.
I do find it funny how Coventry had to go to St Andrews and won the first trophy there in about 20, 30 years. Because obviously Coventry won League One, didn't they?
They're going back though, aren't they?
They are going back to the
I saw
Rico.
that the other day. They're going back to the Rico,
Yeah.
sharing it with Wasps.
So happy.
See, that's another one. I know this is rugby, but what I don't understand, and I can't seem to, get it, like is the fact that London Wasps play at Coventry City's ground, the Rico Arena. I don't understand.
The owner moved it, I think.
I just don't understand that because for me, they've always played in London. To go from London to playing Coventry,
you shouldn't be able to move a team.
You can't do that, can you? Surely.
No.
It just takes away the heart and soul out of it. Like all these Wasps fans must be thinking, hang on,
who should we support now?
It's like Liverpool suddenly moving to I don't know, Pride Park.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Playing in Derby, it just doesn't make any sense.
It's not rugby's not the same as football. Those Wasps fans couldn't make a Phoenix club like Wimbledon did. Because the levels of rugby are just so different, and it's just so hard to break into it.
Yeah,
I feel sorry for them.
Yeah, I know.
With rugby on mind, is there any other stadiums for any other sports that you'd like to visit?
I would love to go to Twickenham.
Twickenham, weirdly,
Definitely.
Gloucester Rugby, because I've lived next to it for a while, don't anymore. I never went in because it's all been during the pandemic. So I used to live on the road next to it. And I've since moved away, but I've never actually gone in, mainly because I don't like rugby.
It's King's Home, isn't it?
King's Home, yeah, but it's a League One standard ground.
It is. I've driven past it a few times.
It's not ideal. It's mostly standing as well.
Yeah, I mean, my home team, Worcester Warriors, Six Ways is a nice stadium.
No,
really nice.
at UOG we're not allowed to like Worcester.
The facilities.
Just have to point that out.
I got my Worcester badge on today, mate.
Oh no.
But it's such a nice stadium. Six Ways is really nice. Facility wise, it's brilliant.
For me, there's a lot of cricket stadiums in Australia. The
one with like 90 or 100,000.
The Gabba.
I've been
the
to
MCG.
I've been to the MCG. That was brilliant. Went a few years ago. Went to watch Aussie rules football. Didn't understand any of it.
No.
But the atmosphere was fantastic, and the view was just brilliant.
There's a new stadium in India. I think it holds 120,000.
I want to go to the one in North Korea, but there's absolutely no chance of that.
No.
It's the biggest stadium in the world or something.
Is it?
I think you can get.
Apparently.
You can get,
apparently,
so
I
we've
don't
been
trust
told.
them. It might have 12 seats.
You can get led tours on holidays to to North Korea, but you don't get any internet access. I don't think you're allowed your phone.
I'd be too scared.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to.
But that would be interesting. Go
watch North Korea.
Yeah, it would be interesting, wouldn't it, to go to another country? Because there's a few in China, massive stadiums in China.
I wouldn't want to go. No offense.
Which
pandemic.
I
don't want to go. I don't want to go abroad much at the moment.
Of course, this is all post-pandemic.
Once I'm vaccinated, I want the world to be vaccinated before I leave this country.
I mean, we're also looking outside Europe with the La Bombonera.
La Bombonera,
The Maracanã as well.
Oh yes.
Even though it's falling apart, a lot of foreign grounds are falling apart.
I'd love to, as much as I'm not a big fan of it. I would love to go to NFL Stadium. I think there's the Mercedes Stadium in Atlanta. That
would be insane.
Just looks amazing.
You can stand on like a bridge between two stands.
Yeah,
or something.
It's crazy. It's absolutely huge.
There's one I don't want. For some reason, whenever I play pro clubs, everyone always has Seattle's ground, and it's like a AstroTurf pitch. And for that reason, I despise Seattle Sounders. So I never want to go.
It's like Livingston. Don't they play on like an artificial pitch, don't they?
Yeah, it's like a hybrid.
In the Scottish League. Yeah.
Miami. I would go to Miami's new one once it's done. That does look quite good. Nice pink.
Phil Neville's stomping ground now, isn't it? That's the MLS anyway.
That's the MLS. I'm just trying to think.
News. There you go.
Was there anything else you wanted to move on to?
Well, we haven't spoken about top four, have we, in the Premier League?
The top four. That was what we were talking about.
Huge. I mean, who the hell would predict this at the start of the season? West Ham 5th. Hang on, what is going on? What's going on?
It's tight, isn't it?
It's crazy. This is crazy.
I think two places are already basically picked up by the Manchester teams.
Yeah.
So there's about four, maybe 5 teams if you go down to Tottenham.
Yeah. How far down would you go for them to be in the race for that top 4?
I think Liverpool just about are still in the race for it. But besides that, I think it's who's above Tottenham.
Can we get the table up and have a look at the points?
I'll get Tottenham up.
Well, it's what you've got Chelsea in 4th, haven't you?
Yeah.
Then you got West Ham, I think. Then you got Everton. Then you got Spurs. Then you got Liverpool.
Yeah, so I'm just looking at this.
If I'm right, I'm just trying to memorise it there.
Man City, Man United, I think.
We need like a screen or something in here, just putting it on.
Leicester 3rd, 53 points. Yeah. Chelsea 4th, 50 points. West Ham 5th, 48. Everton 6th, 46. Tottenham 45 points and Liverpool 43 points. Then Villa with 40 points, 10 points behind.
I'd probably rule Villa out. I think 10 points gap is too much for them.
Yeah, I rule Villa out.
They could get Europa.
Could get Europa.
There is a possibility. I can't see how. But they could.
I think the way that we're talking about at the start of this podcast, if
with 9 teams in Europe.
Yeah, we'll get nine teams in Europe. But I think it's too. Genuinely, I think it'll stay the same. The top 4 at the moment. I don't see West Ham keeping up this.
I don't think they'd be able to cope in the Champo either. You look at their last European run; they got in off fair play, wasn't it? Because they were the least booked side.
I think the last time they got into Europa League was because of their decent season, was it? And their last at Upton Park.
Perhaps, maybe.
No, I think the authorities just felt sorry for them, so they just thought, go on.
Well, I think they got knocked out by a Lithuanian team 2 years ago.
Yeah, in the qualifying rounds, wasn't it?
So I feel sorry for West Ham fans, to be fair, because they've had it tough.
Yeah.
You know.
That was a massive mistake to leave Upton Park.
I think since they've moved, like you said, since they've moved to that London stadium, apart from this season, obviously, but they've got no fans, which is great in the stadium.
It's helping and hindering some, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, like you said, Ben, they should never have really left Upton Park. I don't think.
No,
just redevelop it a bit.
Yeah, West Ham's just never been the same since then. Like, you'd watch Upton Park. I mean, I never went to Upton Park, but you'd watch it on the TV and stuff, and it would be bouncing, rocking, and like the fans would be chanting, singing. Like, the problem is with these like Olympic stadiums is they're brilliant for the Olympics.
I despise athletics tracks around football grounds.
Yeah, that's the thing. I just feel as though it's like if you're an away team going to play there, you're thinking, oh, brilliant. Like fans won't be on us. It's a really nice stadium. You won't feel close, compact.
Play
Do you know
with
what I mean?
Bubbles. I get popcorn and pizza.
It's almost like
that's not a football match.
I can't imagine West Ham fans. I can't imagine many West Ham fans that were happy with leaving Upton Park. I don't think any were, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't know any, so I can't vouch for them, but I don't think they were.
There was positives to leaving the ground.
Obviously. They needed space for more fans if they were to grow, and they needed a bigger ground to be able to appeal to more players.
They could have made. They've
lost their identity.
Really, just increased it. Like they have done with the stadiums. Surely.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about. The building of a new stand would be efficient.
But at least then they would have kept, like you said, at least they would have kept their identity. Look, it's still, you wouldn't have had to rename it. It's still Upton Park. It's just a bit bigger.
I know it's a different way, but when Tottenham play at home, they already feel like that is their home now.
That's because Tottenham Stadium was specifically designed to make it as good for the fans as possible, wasn't it?
Isn't it still on White Hart Lane as well?
It's still in the same position.
I'm surprised it's not actually called White Hart Lane.
It is a bit just they're leaving it open for sponsorship, aren't they? But the sponsorship is so expensive.
I don't like that, though.
They've just walked in. They've just walked into a technically a new stadium. Well, it is a new stadium, but
a really nice new stadium.
Same thing. Yes, they had a bit of trouble at the start, but they're playing like that is their home stadium for the past 55 years.
Yeah.
West Ham is taken 4 years now.
Yeah, it's
taken 4 years to realise, oh, hang on a second, we're the home team. We might have to try in front of our own fans, but now they haven't got fans.
Well, they haven't. It's disappointing for the West Ham fans, really, because they've waited so long to see their team nearly get into the Champions League.
Having a season like this.
To watch it,
would you think if West Ham fans were there, they'd be in this position?
Oh no,
not at all.
No,
It's a good question, actually.
I think if all fans were back, I think Liverpool would be top 4. I think Chelsea. Yeah. I think Chelsea would still have Frank Lampard if fans were allowed back on the ground because the support they would give him. I mean, yes, it wasn't they've been 11 unbeaten on the Tuchel and I think all competitions, but having such backing for a manager that I don't think they have for a while is he'd still be in a job. But I think Sheffield United would be in a better position. I think their fans at Bramall Lane last season were massive.
I think Man United would definitely be lower down. I think. I mean, I don't mean like, 7th or 8th or anything like that, but I think Man United would probably be battling out for top 4.
I think they have the freedom to play how they want to play rather than being terrified of getting ripped into for a poor performance.
Yeah.
Because pretty much every United fan I know has said that Old Trafford in recent years has just been so fans negative. Ripping into the players and booing them at half time and stuff.
I think, as Ben just said, the players are more expressive. They're playing the way that they want to play.
That's why we get so many goals and why the defending's just gone out the window.
If a player makes a poor pass this season, Like, let's just say,
Just get on with it.
Dave from Worcestershire
Yeah.
might be
Boo,
might
not
be
Worcester.
yeah, Dave in Worcester might be annoyed at his TV screen. But
Yeah.
if 25,000 Daves from Worcester are in Old Trafford,
Because all United fans are from down south.
all complaining, why would a player want to do that again?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah,
And
Yeah.
then
Some of the absolute screamers we're seeing.
it's
It's like, they've just scored from 30 yards. He's not trying that with fans, is he?
It
No,
reminds
no,
me of
it's
the
true,
good.
actually.
It reminds me of I don't want to say the good old days, but 2006-07, where we watched Premier League's best goals. Morton Gamps Pedersen hitting and Matty Taylor from the halfway line every week,
yeah.
trying a shot.
Yeah.
But now, we're not seeing that. We're fans. We're seeing some decent goals, but
Seeing
more,
very safe
more
football,
team.
aren't
Yeah,
we?
seeing
Too
safe.
safe. That's I don't like the Prem at the moment. It's
Now
too
we're
safe. It's too boring.
Because there's no fans.
Che
to get
Adams'
them
goal on the
going like
weekend.
that, so-
Would Che Adams? Would he really try that goal if fans were? I know this is what's the word?
Hypothetical.
Hypothetical.
Yeah.
There we go. I know this is very hypothetical.
Yeah.
But he probably would. He's a striker. He'd shoot if he has a chance. But would he really not just? Well, it's got to be mental that I haven't got anyone to ridicule me besides my manager.
Yeah.
That, let's be honest, if a striker shoots and doesn't go in, the manager isn't going to be ripping his hair out.
No, exactly.
You're thinking, well done.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of teams in the league this year, including top 4 teams, that have benefited without the fans being in the stadium, definitely. And there are teams certainly in the top half that have really, really, really missed the fans. And it shows. You can see what teams have missed the fans and what teams are benefiting without the fans.
I'd say Leicester probably missed them because as soon as the fans are out,
Yeah.
challenge for third place fell apart.
I mean, it was just, it's interesting. It really makes you realise, doesn't it? I mean, we already know it, but football is literally nothing without fans.
Yeah.
For most teams anyway.
I hope
Whereas some
teams
teams can
realise
just play
this.
brilliant without
Teams
fans.
should realise and lower the ticket prices.
Ben
There we
was-
go, exactly.
Ben was one of the lucky people, weren't you? When fans were allowed to go back to stadiums, he got into
Yeah.
I got 3 Cheltenham games in. Yeah.
3 Cheltenham games in. Yeah,
I mean,
so
obviously, I've been as a coach. I've been working throughout the pandemic, going to lower league matches, but never big ones. And then going back to that Cheltenham game, we put 5 past Exeter. That was absolutely mental.
Scenes.
It was absolute scenes.
And then for me, it was a year ago on Sunday that I
Mm.
last went to watch Bristol City. I've seen Cheltenham Saracens play, but that's literally a park team, isn't it?
Pretty much.
it's-
Pretty much.
It's 9th tier in English football.
Yeah.
Like,
Ninth tier. Oh, they're a league. They're the league above Worcester City, I think. I think Worcester City are in
Ah.
the 10th division or something.
Saracens are Hellenic. Hellenic, I think it is.
Hellenic, yeah. It's a
nah,
shame.
I have to get John Palmer on that, ask him about
Yeah, we'll have to get him on the show.
They follow me on Twitter, but I don't really want to.
To be fair, good. Well, acquaintances with a couple people that work at Saracens because when I was one of the women's coaches for Cheltenham, we'd use their ground and you have a chat with them. It's like it's a really good little club.
It's a nice little ground, isn't it, to be fair?
And they're building a
It's
new
nice little-
clubhouse. Obviously, we have to lock up the
Oh,
changing
God.
rooms because people go in and nick stuff. But they're building a
Their-
nice
their
new
change
place.
rooms and the clubhouse. So
It's a porta cabin and then
it's a porta
little.
cabin and then a shed.
Have you ever been in the changing rooms?
No,
I've
I've
only been
never
twice.
been.
They're not nice.
Really?
And they're so cold and water gets in and Saracens never clean it up
Oh.
after themselves.
God, we've
So we
got
go
a,
in and there's mud.
got a Neil Warnock in here. Got a Neil Warnock. Oh,
So
I'm so angry about absolutely nothing. Urgh.
I wouldn't have kept animals in it.
and on that rage, I think we bringing it to a close.
Yeah, we can
It's
do,
been
yeah.
just over 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So we'll bring this to a close. If you want
Yeah.
to wrap this up from your own.
Oh, yeah, sure. Well, there we go. There we have it. We just sort of went off on one.
Excellent.
Yeah. Yeah, we hope you enjoyed it. And we will try and get one out next week as well.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
been
we'll get in here
it's
next
not been a
week.
fully
It ha-
structural.
It hasn't been consistent, to be fair. We've had people leaving and then we're having people
Yeah,
join, like
we've
Ben's
s-
joined as well.
But we've said goodbye
So-
to
Yeah,
Jake,
Jake.
and Loz now.
Yeah.
So you're our host
So
forever.
yeah, so I'm the host, but it will be like this every week. Really, we'll
Yeah.
just have one big
We'll have
chat
at least
about
3 of us.
Yeah.
It'll be structured, but it'll be more of a chat.
and we will talk about other sports. It will mainly be football, but we will mention about a few other sports as well.
Yeah, I won't stop talking about cricket and
Yeah.
Formula 1 and
No, of course, no.
I feel like I should apologise to Cheltenham Saracens. It was a very nice place. Thank you so much for letting us play there. Just please clean up after yourselves on a Saturday.
And actually, before we ran, was there any final thoughts from you two?
Mansfield, sort your ground out.
Not really, no. I mean, of course, when we were going through all the stadiums, no offence to anyone who works
except
at the stadiums
for Mansfield.
Well,
and MK Dons.
He's got something against Mansfield. I don't know what it is.
Not a nice place. Don't like
Is it because they beat Cheltenham on Tuesday?
I mean, we beat them 3-0 last time.
Might be it, actually.
We beat Mansfield to get that Man City tie.
Yes,
so
well done, Mansfield.
Quite like Matt. I even own a Mansfield shirt for some unknown reason.
So this week's final thoughts are: sort it out, Mansfield Town, and Australia. I'm happy that you're actually in Eurovision.
Yeah.
There we go.
Thank you for watching.